Heart of Oak is brought to you by Timberland Pro, Marvin Windows and Doors, Midcape and AZEC Trim,
and these valued partners.
I'm always on the prowl, looking for properties that either are complete teardowns, that you just walk in and you know, tear it down, or can I even save it? And so when you walk through and you realize it's salvageable, that's when the exciting thing starts to happen. Look at this gem. In a way, it's a little bit of gut feeling. Like you just know in your gut when you see something like, okay, I feel like I can make something out of it. It's a teardown.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so with that said, I think if you could get it to stick at 925 all in, I think we go for it. Think about it, and I'm gonna call you back in 10 minutes.
Okay, you got it. Okay,
All right,
good.
thanks,
Okay,
dude.
Perfect. All right, fine. Yeah, fine.
I think if we say all-in cost below 2, this is a good deal.
I agree,
I
agree.
I mean, the lot alone. Look at all the lots around you through the trees here. If we clean this thing up, put a beautiful house here,
You wanna leave all the Pabst Blue Ribbons cans?
I would maybe save those.
We could save
Man,
them
that
and
guy
do
really
like,
liked the blue ribbon, huh?
yeah, someone liked Blue Ribbon there. It's almost like an artist when they see a canvas, like you can envision it in your head and understand like what you would do visually to just change the aesthetic. And then you start walking through it and you see the layouts that could change. And the fact that maybe you could blow a room out the back and create another bedroom, or maybe it's adding a garage. Whatever that might be, there are several ways to add value. But the biggest one in our neighborhoods is adding square footage, because every square foot is worth $450 to $600. The Hersey Street project is now my 5th project within 100 yards of that location. So I knew that house and always figured that you couldn't do much with the property.
We probably get minimum 5 or 6 or more inquiries a week trying to buy a house.
And then I got a phone call from the owner. Hey, I'm thinking about selling Hersey Street, looking to just get rid of it. Do you have any interest in buying it? I think you could do something there. And at first I was like, I don't think you can do anything. There's not a lot of room to move.
There's always going to be real estate that's available, whether it's on market or off market. Oftentimes you come across a property that's looks like a diamond in the rough, but it doesn't make sense for us at the time.
But then I took a good look at it and I realized, wait a minute, there's something here. You got a cute little historic home, and I realized we had room to build it out, to add value. How big of a footprint can I put on the lot? What's that footprint gonna turn into for square footage? Where does that square footage put my resale number at? So all of these things started to kind of like build the puzzle. I knew that we could add a bedroom, like a real bedroom. I knew that we could get a garage on it. So I'd figure out what it's gonna cost me, and then I'd back into a number that I think I could pay for it. And I made that offer, and there was a little bit of negotiation, but I think we negotiated over 5 text messages, and the deal was done.
So PJ was always a risk taker. He used to climb trees when he was a kid, 80-foot trees. He'd be like in the air, and my mom would be like screaming bloody murder. He just enjoys things that challenge him. And do you think we're gonna be on budget?
So then we have Cindy, who's our CFO, who also happens to be PJ's sister and my sister-in-law. And she's super level-headed. She's pretty risk averse, which I think is what her role should be as a CFO. So the conversations between her and PJ are pretty comical sometimes.
All right, this is what I was talking about.
Can't wait. Why am I looking at the water?
Because this is on the market. So all those boats are not for sale, but the marina is on
Are
the
you
market.
kidding?
Why would
Oh
we
yeah,
want to own
definitely.
this?
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, it's cash positive. It's a real estate deal because he has no services over here. He just rents space. That's it. So we're buying an income property.
Okay.
But that's not what I want to do with it. So what I want to do with it
Obviously.
is create some transient slips there to service people coming to the restaurant here. Put our offices upstairs, restaurant downstairs. Rebuild that building to be a proper
You know, this
Marina
is just,
Club.
you know, this is just all.
And then
His whole life, it's like, what if I buy this place? What if I do a restaurant? What if I, like, it never ever ends.
Were you gonna put the house right there too? So like you can go to work. You
no,
can
I'll just
eat.
live in that.
You're
It'll be
gonna
great.
eat tacos and guac all the time.
Well, it's not gonna be a taco bar, but there's already one of those in town. I mean, what do you think?
Coffee.
In all seriousness, though, like, why would we not consider it?
My thoughts always go to the numbers, unfortunately. I wish they didn't sometimes, but they do.
I don't run every deal by the team, but there are some that I do. I mean, my sister, Cindy, is my CFO, my CFO. I share a lot more with her than anybody because she's seeing the overall forecasting in the business. But I definitely do take my team's opinion to heart. People don't realize how many people are involved behind the scenes, right? So like Rochelle and Cindy and Lee. So Lee sits next to me every day and helps keep my head straight when it comes to all of the cash flow.
I try to get out to the job sites personally so that I can see progress and really know what we're talking about when PJ comes back and we're sitting down with numbers and, you know, talking progress. Because not only do we have bank draws coming in based on progress that's already happened, but we have interest payments to pay out. We have debt that we have to take care of every single month. For every month your project is overdue, that is, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars out of your pocket that you're not gonna see. It goes back to timing is everything.
When we approach an old house like this, it's, again, you don't want to take it down because it's an old house and it has a lot of character and charm. It's been there a long time. It's part of the community. This house, honestly, I probably, if I had brought an engineer in at the beginning, he probably would have told me to tear it down. But I chose to keep it and build off of it. And I think, personally, it gives the house a lot of character. And people in New England love that, and they love to be able to talk to their friends about how they live in a home that was resurrected. The challenge is, you've got old foundations that cave in when you try to dig them out to put a new foundation on it. You've got floors that need to be ripped out because they're completely, you know, compromised. The whole roof needed to be reframed within the roof to give it enough strength to carry the snow load, right? So there's a lot of things you gotta do to do that. So I joke that this house is a new home with 800 square feet of old bones. This was a perfect job for Tom to kind of take over because it wasn't incredibly huge. At the same time, a little bit complicated, lots of thinking outside the box to get things to work.
The interesting factor to it is it's historical. It sits right on historical Hersey Street, and it's been there for generations. So we can't touch the front facade of the house, but we can add on to the back. We're adding a few thousand square feet to this house. We're adding a 2-car garage, a few more bedrooms, a giant mudroom. It's definitely gonna be a fun one to do. It's a mix of new construction, but renovation at the same time, because we're working with the old and incorporating it into what our new vision is.
So this has been an interesting project. I think it's gonna be a great little house.
That's the thing, it's looks tiny from the front,
But it's not.
but it's not once
Yeah.
you get inside.
These guys have reframed a bunch of stuff in the back of the house, framed all the interior walls, put all the windows in, reframed the whole first floor system and made it strong and level again, and basically put all the doors in 1 week. It's been nuts. They've just been flying through the place, which is great because now it's time, I gotta get rid of this thing. Interest is just adding up. You know, we'll still make money on it, but not as much as we would have. I know, I'm like trying to make up margin here. Let's do as much as we can by ourselves. So throughout this whole process the last year, I've had a lot of interest in the house, and I've had a bunch of buyers through. And we took a lot of their feedback, and we looked at the floor plan, and we realized, it really isn't laid out right. So we took their feedback, and Tom and I kind of sat down with a red pen, and we just redid the whole layout of the entire house. So many changes here, but all for the better.
Nice, they framed that window in because we're gonna bring this platform out. Powder room, pantry, kitchen over here. The feedback we got from potential home buyers walking through the house was to make it more open. So PJ and I went back to the drawing board, mapped out the plans, and just started erasing walls, essentially. Taking out the walls that we did is gonna open it up. It allows the future homeowners to choose what they want to do with the space.
Yeah, I am happy that we blew up the floor plan and just changed it. It's way better. Laundry room's a little different.
Yep.
This room, so the other day when I was here, I made the guys move this wall over to give this closet some more room because I didn't think it was big enough. And then this wall back, because I didn't think this room was big enough.
That, resulted in putting a new ceiling structure in, removing the staircase to keep just one focal staircase in the back of the house. And also, reframing the entire ceiling structure is gonna make such a difference.
Yeah. I mean, just getting rid of the stairs alone
Yeah.
opens this whole thing up. Yeah, so I mean, it was crazy. Remember, this was the main house and the ceiling was this high.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's the double-edged sword, where you make one change, and that's a domino effect, where you just want to keep making more and more and more, and you start creeping into the next room, and then to the next room.
I am the king of changes on the fly. I hate tying yourself to a plan because a plan is never perfect.
Gonna get the plaster and board guys lined up. Insulation's already lined up. We're in a good spot.
Trey, what's up?
Hey, PJ, good to see you, man.
Hey, dude.
Dude, this is looking good.
Yeah, we're finally getting there. This one's been a long time coming. We had a couple delays, but we're finally insulating, and I'm excited about this new next gen.
I think next gen is really the biggest step change we've had, the biggest innovation. We've used this to address any kind of pain points contractors, homeowners, builders have had. It recovers fully, you're not having to fluff it, it cuts faster. Our product uses 100% wind-powered electricity to make it. In addition to that, we have the highest recycled content in the industry. We use over 1 billion pounds annually of recycled glass, so
Now all my bottles are gonna go into fiberglass.
you're saving the planet one drink at a time.
I love it. Again, thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
It's been educational, and I got to prove that I can actually still put fiberglass in.
Tom, how's it going?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. We're here to check progress. I haven't seen this place since we got going again. This is exciting.
I know we got painters here, the
gosh.
outside's starting to get wrapped up.
It looks
so
beautiful. Like
definitely-
really nice.
Definitely a few draws coming on the outside.
Yay! Actually, that's why I'm here. I am submitting a draw tomorrow, hopefully, and I just wanted
Nice.
to see where we're at, make sure that what I'm putting in is accurate and that we're getting the most out of it. Now, we're hoping to bring in some cash on this project. PJ said we were at a pretty good spot to pull a draw, so my plan is to put one in tomorrow, but I wanted to see for myself.
Board's gonna be going up on the wall starting tomorrow.
Oh,
We're
really?
gonna get the place cleaned out today. That's what our main objective is, and then the guys have some running room to get on their stilts, put the board up, ceilings, walls.
Oh my gosh, this is a lot of progress all at once.
This is the master. So we've reworked this out a little bit as well, because we have a bonus room off of it. Originally, the bonus room was in the master, cut it back to the hallway, reworked the
sense.
closet a little bit.
Is this all closet?
This is all closet. Wow. Right? Dream closet,
oh my
huh?
gosh. This
Is
is
this just-
unreal.
This is really the phase of the project where the vision comes to life and everything comes together.
You can tell, it's totally taking shape now. You really feel it.
Yeah.
So I was so excited to see Tom out here today. He did a great job touring through the house, letting me know what was done. I actually think I'm gonna be able to pull more on this draw than I expected.
It's such a long uphill battle to get plaster in. I mean, once plaster's on the walls, you actually get the feel of what the house feels like, right? You're not looking through 2x4 walls anymore. You actually have walls. And so it's at that point in a process where people can come in and they can envision where their couch goes and where their bed goes and stuff like that. Hey, the plaster looks awesome here.
Yeah, it came out good. Came out nice.
I think they're a week, so that's perfect. So Nick can start on the cabinets Monday, Tuesday, roll right into the doors. We can get the stair parts over.
So Tom, great project manager. Have enjoyed working with him in this build. Tom is younger than me.
Okay, I
So
hear
I'll
you.
pick up all new stock then.
Yeah, so yes. So I'll get your measurement then. What kind of wood? Are you thinking oak or?
Usually I'm the youngest person at a job site, so I don't really mind taking orders from someone older than me. But with Tom, he's a bit younger than me, so it's an interesting dynamic of him telling me what to do.
As something that was added at the 11th hour, I think this team here did pretty good.
One of the cool aspects Tom brings to a job site is sort of incorporating tech into the build.
And then we redid the plans. I put in the software here, and we actually built it up, added the powder room, added a larger pantry, added closets down below.
So he really likes utilizing sort of technology. He's a big Insta fanatic, so it's good to always be dressed, you know, up to standards because you're probably gonna end up on the gram.
I love being hands-on. So I've been working closely with Lizzy on the design on this project and picking selections that we know have worked and have worked on other jobs and incorporating them into this build. I mean, that was kind of the reason why we redid the layout, is to make that open feel, open concept.
Right, because it is open, but it's not a huge first floor.
You know, I asked to come along with her today to see what we're going to be putting in the house, because I also have a pretty good idea on the finishes that are getting installed in the house right now that Lizzy selected.
I definitely didn't want to go dark with the countertop. I didn't want it to be a super moody kitchen in this house. So looking at something white in the Quartz family, but with some interest to it, not just a plain white. I think like we could go with a remnant and just do like a white in the pantry.
I actually have a solid white right here.
I feel like, Tom, that's the way we go. It'll brighten up that space. There's no window in there.
I like that idea.
Works for me.
Well,
Thanks,
thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Absolutely.
It was really good to
You
see
too.
you.
You too. Thanks so much.
Good seeing you.
Thanks for coming by. All right.
When this type of project ends, we can't wait to take the next one on. We have to like already have that in the queue. And so by having Tom be able to step up and really work to complete the Hersey Street project, that frees up PJ to find the stuff that is going to be kind of the next thing coming.
Work never seemed to end during the day, and I put that on myself, and I'm totally fine with it because I love what I do. And you know, I'm drafting up emails at 9 o'clock at night, sending them zoning info and property info on, hey, let's go get this one. This one's off market, but it's, you know, the zoning's underutilized. We could build something way larger here. We could divide the lot, subdivide it, put 2 down. So I'm always trying to send PJ deals, but the funny thing is, he's always doing the same thing. So there's not enough room for the both of us to do it.
You can never underestimate being patient when it comes to finding real estate. You just never know when it's gonna happen. I had made the decision to hunker down and just like focus on what we're doing and maybe find one more, you know, customer job and not really buy anything. And then all of a sudden this thing fell in my lap. You just never know. And also you don't know where the money's gonna come from either. You have to find investors. There are things you gotta do. It took a long time for me to get to a point where I feel comfortable jumping into things and knowing that I can put the deal together. John, are you jumping ship? No pun intended.
I don't know, actually. It kind of depends.
Wow. I was surprised to hear that you're selling.
I'm exploring.
The second they called, the agent called me about it, I was like, I'll be there in an hour, because I just knew it was good.
And I appreciate that.
You can only split yourself in so many different directions. Part of the relationship that he and I have is sort of assessing, like, where are we today? Where do we want to be in 18 months?
And you know, you're always hustling, you're always entrepreneuring, you're always doing those things. And I'm unfortunately the one that has to tell you to slow down sometimes, or, you know, hey, let's think about this a different way. And if you're gonna come at me and you're gonna say, okay, we're gonna buy this for way more than we normally buy a home, but I'm not gonna be able to put, you know, I'm not gonna have to put as much money into it. That's great, as long as we keep our budgets. I mean, I think the landscaping looks amazing, but the door and the window is just such a nice look for the house.
It's crazy that was the first Marvin in-swing architectural door off the line. Isn't that crazy?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful piece.
Super cool.
Yeah.
So now we're over here.
Okay, turn around.
So, yeah, I mean, it's really not bad, right? As far as condition.
No, I mean, it needs some love.
So this one, we're gonna be a little less rip it all apart, a little more use what we got. It's not our style, but I think it's pretty unique. So we'll leave it.
Well, it's unique, and it brings a little bit of the old and the new together,
Well,
too.
it's also done,
Right.
right? Like, why reinvent the wheel? It's 3 levels. The upstairs isn't finished, but it's all framed out and wired, ready to go. So we're gonna finish upstairs. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah, looks amazing.
We work really well together as a team, and I help him sort of on the higher level with deals and kind of getting in his brain and figuring out what's going to work and what isn't, and trying to help guide him.
So our Hersey Street project is wrapping up. That was a spec build for us. It was a pretty small project that is kind of one of our bread and butter type projects, right, as far as the spec is concerned. We knew kind of exactly what type of design we wanted in there. You know, Tom kind of took this one on, and that was a house that we were extremely proud to build.
Tom was here, we checked everything out, so we're all good here.
All right, I'll let Rob know that you'll be ready for him first thing Monday.
Yep.
Hopefully we can get that turned around fast.
Okay.
And then we can be done with that place.
Sounds good.
All right,
All
sounds
right.
good.
For me on this house, it was tricky because the lot's really small, which is not super appealing to a lot of people. So maximizing your living space and using the lot to our best possible use was vitally important. We didn't have a lot of room to go left because of the septic system. We didn't have a lot of room to go right because of setbacks. So we were able to bump the front portion over a little bit to expand the kitchen. The original house was tiny. It was 400 square feet per floor. So trying to make that first floor work was tough. So we created a flow that'll work for today's lifestyle with some more square footage in it. And the second floor is the whole length of the house, including over the garage. So what it did was it gave us the opportunity to add a fair amount of square footage without making the lot look like we overbuilt it. All right, so Hersey is finally wrapped. Thank goodness.
I'm smiling because I remember like a month ago, somebody came hot onto the job, said I wasn't gonna finish on time.
I did. I was rip roaring that day.
But we're wrapped up.
Yeah.
Even with curveballs.
Even with curveballs, yeah. Eventually.
Another one wrapped up.
Another one wrapped up.
On to the
I'm
next
happy
one.
to see that one gone.
If you had to give this house a name, it's like the greatest hits album. So we're putting material in this project that we've used and we know have been successful and looked great on other builds, and we're putting that into this one. So it's gonna be a bit of a mix of material and design choices that you've seen throughout the other homes here at Oak, but now it's rebranded and it's that greatest hits.